All right, big news this weekend. Showtime Pettis moved up from 155 to 170, and he knocked out Wonderboy Thompson with a Superman hook. Bounced off the cage and then knocked him out with a hook. Unbelievable finish, one of the best that I've ever seen. He is back. Now he has a whole boatload of options at 170, at 155. Let's talk to the man Showtime who's joining us via FaceTime. There he is. Anthony, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Wow, congratulations on this, Anthony. I'm just wondering, so much talk about Showtime, getting back on track, all that stuff. You were very open going into this fight. You had lost 6 of 9 heading in. On a Monday morning, after you pull off something like that in a new weight class where everyone thought you were going to lose, you were crazy for moving up. Like, what is Monday morning like? Does everything just taste and smell and feel better?
Man, it just feels clear. I already hit a workout. I'm just focused, man. This year is a big year for me. This was a big first fight, but I'm just using it as a checkpoint. I got a big year in front of me, and I'm just excited to see what comes.
You already did a workout today, this morning.
This morning, yeah, I just got done.
No time off? You just fought.
No time off, man. I just feel hungry. I'm just motivated by the success, man. Honestly.
Okay, so what was the week like? You didn't have did you have to cut any weight heading into Friday?
Yeah, I cut 10 pounds the week before. So coming in, I was 182 coming in, and it was a water load, so I was watered up, but there was no weight cut. I was working out, the weight was coming off. I was eating full meals, and I felt good.
At any point were you thinking to yourself, man, I should have done this sooner? Why did I kill myself going down to 155, let alone 145? Did that thought cross your mind?
Nah, you know what? I think everything had to happen, the way it did, to allow me to see that. Dropping down to 45, we only did that because the title shot was, promised. We were right there, one win, we get a title shot. I tried it. It didn't work my way, so we keep pushing. I don't get attached to these fights as wins or losses. They're all learning experiences. I know how good I am. I just had to go out there and just have a good performance.
Okay, and so you make the weight, everything goes well. Come Saturday, do you have any idea how much you weighed in the actual fight?
I weighed less this fight than I did when I fought Tony Ferguson.
Whoa.
I was 182 pounds. And my body processed what I ate. And then Tony's fight, it was a 5-week cut. I ate and I looked fat. It just held on to everything. And I think it's just I'm getting older, man. It's hard to cut that weight and bounce back in 24 hours. And you can feel it in the fights. If you don't have the energy to push forward and when it gets tough to keep going, your body you make mistakes, and that's how I broke my hand. I didn't stay clean in the Tony fight. I threw an overhand right and boom, break my hand, and it cost me the fight.
Wow, that is fast. So how much did you weigh in that fight?
I think I weighed in at 185 and I left the hotel.
Wow, that is amazing.
I got big quick. Yeah.
And did you feel different in there on Saturday as opposed to the Tony fight, just because it was a lot more of a cleaner cut?
I had energy. Yeah, man, I had the energy to take the fight. This game plan that I had going into this fight required energy and patience. Wonderboy was way bigger than me. You saw it in there. I tried to bulk up. I put the muscle on. I put the size on, but he was a big guy, and we had a great game plan, man. Me and Duke just, we studied what we had to do. He showed it to me on tape. We started putting it together in sparring, and it just felt so clear on what the mission was.
So what was the game plan?
Chop them legs away, man. He has that traditional martial arts style, and his idea of his style is what I used to do. You throw them straight punches to get the guy to start parrying and to start leaning, to start using your head to dodge the punches, and then once that happens, that's the cue to start kicking. So if I would have, instead of try to parry the punches like I was or keep my head in the center, that would have been his cue to kick. So you notice when he was punching that he was parrying the jab to get a reaction. He was punching the jab to get a reaction, and I didn't give him the look. So all of his high kicks, all of his spin kicks, it did nothing. I just kept moving forward. If my nose didn't bleed, I think the fight would have looked way closer than what everybody expected. I was chopping them legs down. I knew I just had to be patient. Keep chopping the back leg, keep chopping the back leg. When I saw him hide his back leg like that, you can't take hook punches. So it happened after he threw that side kick. I parried, and his back leg was sore. He thought I was coming with a kick. I put the leg up just to fake the kick, right over the top with the hook, and that's all she wrote, man. It wasn't even a hard punch. It was just clean.
So at the end of the first round, you weren't concerned at all with the way the fight was going?
At 0, I didn't even sit down. I knew the first round was going to be tough. I knew the second round would be tough. He has the energy during them times. We had 5 rounds, so I was just I didn't really throw any punches. If you look at the fight, I saved my punches for the right time. I didn't want to waste them. I didn't want to get into a striking match. He was too long. His striking range is something I've never felt before. Like I sparred some of the best in the world. I mean, everybody. I sparred so many guys, and I've never felt a striking range that was that long. He could literally hit me from, I felt like he was 5 feet away, but he was just tossing them jabs up. So big respect to Wonderboy. He's a great martial artist.
Did you know that there was like 5-10 seconds left in the round when that finishing sequence? You did know that? I
did know that. Yeah. I didn't even care about the time. I wasn't looking at time. I wasn't looking at rounds. I was looking for what he did to allow me to go. So when he started hiding that back leg, you'll see in the fight if you rewatch it. I was chopping that back leg. And he was southpaw, so I was going for his left leg. He started putting it further in back of his stance. So his bladed stance. He tried to hide it. So it's impossible to take a hook in that stance. There's no way you can take a hook. And he was on one leg, so it was my cue to go. And I knew it was going to happen either second round or third round once I started breaking that leg up a little bit.
Initially, I thought that you actually like pushed off the cage with your foot, but then it just seemed like you bounced off it. Did that give you a little more of a push, a little more momentum?
Yeah, I did. I bounced off the cage because he threw his side kick. So I parried. Where I caught his side kick, I caught him on his knee. So, like, if I would have caught the shin on that side kick, I wouldn't have got as close. I caught his knee on the side kick. It allowed me to get, like, maybe even, like, 2 inches closer to giving that fake Superman. It was more of a fake kick Superman punch because I wanted to bring the leg up, so he thought I was attacking that back leg. And then, I came over the top with the hook, and he didn't see it coming at all.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Superman punches in my day. Like GSP, of course, made it famous. I don't know if I've ever seen the Superman hook. So you specifically worked on that technique.
I did the Tony Ferguson too. It's a kick punch.
Okay.
So if you land that kick enough, the opponent starts biting on the kick and it opens up that side of the face. So and you can jump with it. So it kind of is a Superman punch, but it's more of a kick punch setup.
Did you know that he had never been knocked out before in an MMA fight? No,
I didn't.
Wow. I think you know now, right?
Yeah, I do know now, man. I think it was 80 fights. I mean, that's such a cool dude, bro. Like, if you don't like Wonderboy, something's wrong with you. Like, I watched the interviews afterwards, his Facebook Live in the hospital bed. Pure man's is gold. That's a good guy.
He's like one of the nicest human beings, right? I mean, he's so respectful towards you afterwards. I liked how respectful you were, but like just the both of you, no animosity whatsoever. I think it was just great to see how the whole thing played out.
Yeah, I think when you put two guys like that in there, we don't need to talk the trash. We don't need to sell the fight. Just pure martial arts is what sold that fight. And I delivered, man. I told everybody I'm coming for the knockout, and I had a perfect game plan to deliver it.
So considering how good you felt all week, considering how the fight went, why would you enter? Because I heard you say Barbosa Gaethje, which is just an insane fight. Like, you versus the winner of that fight makes all the sense of the world. But why entertain the idea of going back down to 155? Why not stay at 170 for a bit?
A lot of the big purposes. My teammates are at 170, man. Like Woodley, I want to see him get that fight back. That was not Woodley, and not being a selfish dude. I want to see my friend succeed as well, and I think he deserves a rematch. I mean, that was one of the longest reigning champions in a long time. So. You also got Ben Askren up there, another teammate of mine that I want to see do well. And I only went to 170 because I want to stay busy. I want big names. And I mean, Wonderboy, come on, man. I had to take that fight. There was no way I couldn't get that fight.
So is it possible that your next fight is at 155? Like, are you done at 170?
No, I don't know yet, man. Like, that's the best part about this. It opens up the doors for so much. I don't need to wait on anybody. I think my name. People want to watch me fight, and I want to fight. So let's set it up.
What did you make of Conor's tweet afterwards?
I honestly, man, I don't follow all that stuff. They told me about it on ESPN, and I think he tweeted after the Masvidal fight too. People posted. I don't know what his plan is, but it's for me. If he wants to fight, let's do it. Like, I'm not gonna go out there and say, oh, I want McGregor so bad. I heard he said, my name in the tweet. Let's do it, man. I don't. You sign me up, send me the contract. I'm ready to go.
You're not going to beg for it, essentially, right?
At all. Yeah, I don't need to, man. I have so many good fights in front of me, and great competition that's actually been putting in the work. That's climbed up the ladders, climbed up the ranks, and I can get essentially anybody I want.
I will say though, I love the idea of you fighting RDA again at 170. a rematch of that
That's
fight.
that's more of a personal thing for me, man. I need that fight back. You know, that's something I said. You know, I have to have that fight back. I gotta erase that off my record.
Do you feel like you'll only truly be able to get over what happened at UFC 185 if you do get to fight him again and erase that?
Nah, man, I think I got over it. It was more of a mental thing that I just had to see clear for myself. You know, Duke's been trying to tell me about it without me recognizing it. It fell on deaf ears. It didn't even make sense what he was saying. But then once I saw what he was saying, I'm like, man, there it is. You know, if you look at my last couple performances, you know, the basics are just really strong, and that allows me to be Showtime. Like, I don't go force flash. Like, that knockout happened because I had 9 minutes of very strong basics and 1 second of him making a mistake.
What was Duke telling you?
Honestly, Duke didn't say much this time. We had such a good game plan. I already knew what to do. Like, there wasn't anything Duke could tell me. He reassured me that we were on the right path. You know, when I go back to the corner, I'm like, do you want me to keep stalking? Do you want me to keep stalking? He said, do exactly what you're doing. I need more punches. So then, you know, second round, I'm like, all right, now it's time to start getting the hands going because I found the range of the kicks. You know, Wonder Boy's a long guy, so it was a puzzle to get past that range was huge. But you know, we figured it out, and you know, 1 second of him making a mistake led to that, you know, impressive Showtime style knockout, and that just reassured me. All right, I'm on the right path. You know, I'm back on the track on what got me to the belt.
And any injuries afterwards? Hand okay? Everything okay?
Man, the hand didn't break, and I don't know if it's a weight cut thing, but I hit him hard. You know, that's
Yes.
right hand to his chin. You know, 3 times. I didn't know he was out. You know, obviously I'm a good sport. You know, if I knew he was out, I wouldn't have kept going. But it was such a dynamic punch. I didn't feel like I had power on it to knock him out like that. And then when I saw him down, I'm like, oh man, he's knocked out.
And I don't know if you did it on purpose, but I liked your sort of unintentional homage to the great BJ Penn when you licked your own blood. I've never seen you do that before. What did that taste like?
It tastes like blood, man. You know, I bleed in my fights. My nose, it bleeds most fights. You know, if a guy touches my nose, I probably will bleed. I'm in sparring too. I've just been fighting my whole life. So I think the fans and even the commentators at this one, you know, made the blood worse than it was. It's a bloody nose. Like, you can get a bloody nose, you know, sleeping in a dry room. It's not a big deal.
Okay. And so in a perfect world, when would you like to return?
July, International Fight Week, Vegas.
Okay. And 155 or 170, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter to me. It just depends who it is, man. Like,
okay.
if it's for me, where I'm at in my career, I want entertaining, fun fights. I don't want guys coming at me, you know, trying to hold me down, grind me out. Let's fight, man. If you're gonna come fight me, let's do it. Set it up, but let's fight. Let's not use the rules to get a decision. I want real fights.
And the great thing is now you have options, right? You can go 170, 155. This is amazing.
Yeah, I'm in the driver's seat right now.
Incredible. Conor McGregor, Kenny Florian, Anthony Pettis, the only 3 fighters in UFC history to win a fight in 3 different weight classes. Well done, Anthony. What a moment that was. You've given us a lot of great moments. That one is up there with the Showtime kick, in my opinion. One of the best knockouts of the year thus far. Well done. Congratulations. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks.
There he is, Anthony Pettis, stopping by. If you haven't seen the knockout, go check it out somewhere. ESPN Plus, YouTube. I don't know where you can find it. Go get it. Watch it. It was great.